It's about time you listen to the Shenmue AM2 podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of the Shenmue AM2 podcast. We're your hosts, Andrew.
And Matt.
And we are here for kind of a general episode. We have just a bunch of little topics to talk about. So, yeah, we'll hop into it. First thing is we need to make a correction. I said that Matisse, the fellow that redid our graphics for us, I mistakenly said he was from Finland. He is actually from Sweden.
You bastard.
That is a lie. He is from the beautiful country of Switzerland. No, just kidding. It's Norway. He's from Norway. And half British, apparently.
Oh.
Half Brit, he said. So, yeah, he's in charge of all our new graphics and everything, and huge thank you to him.
Thanks.
And he will be on the show at some point. So, probably the biggest news lately was Kickstarter update number 83. The survey info number 0 soft open announcement. Titles, people, they're important.
This is an announcement of an announcement.
It really is. It's just essentially they're saying that they're going to be sending out some sample surveys soon. From Fangamer is the third party in charge of doing it. Mm-hmm. Some people were up in arms that a third party was doing it.
Really? That's pretty standard for Kickstarter as far as I know. All my rewards in the past, I believe, were through Fangamer. Or I guess it depends on the game. I think there's Fangamer and then there's another service that does it too. But yeah. This is typical. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, people were, I think they were concerned about their personal information being shared. It is what it is, people. You know, I wouldn't worry about it too much. They're probably not going to spam you. And God knows about all those privacy laws that just happened in Europe. Mm-hmm. Everything, everywhere tells you about it. So essentially, they are going to be sending out a sample survey to people just to kind of, I think, iron out the bugs, hopefully, is, I think, what their idea is here.
Is this legit a test survey, I wonder? Or if I put my info in, if I do get the survey, do I have to do it again later or no?
I don't know. They haven't clarified that. I think it would be to iron out the bugs. Where I do have a marketing background, a university degree and a diploma, part of, my education is very intense survey work. And it's really, I think, about designing the survey and to get the exact response, and I don't mean that in a leading way to give you them to lead you to an answer, but a finite answer that is this or this out of certain choices. You can't have ambiguous questions in a survey. They need to be, it's answer A, answer B, answer C. Mm-hmm. Now, they also said there in the Kickstarter, initially they said there would be polls, though, as well.
For what?
Things that are going to be in the game, I'm assuming, because there's, they said we would get to kind of shape how this plays out.
I think they've only done one poll so far, and it was Kickstarter people, do you care if Slacker backers get the Kickstarter exclusive things? I think that was a poll they did.
Yes, they did that.
But I don't remember any other polls.
I don't remember any others. Hopefully, there'll be some interactive portion to it. I think that would be cool. It would also kind of hold up production, though, too, because you need to send out the surveys, then you need to put a deadline on it to make sure you're not just waiting for every survey to come back. You have to put some sort of timeline on it to be able to continue the process of making the game. Now, from a survey person who's has experience with creating surveys, I think the research aspect of it here, where they said they're going to be going out to a certain amount of people randomly, I would have to think that it would be from certain a few people from every different reward tier. Okay. Because your survey is going to be different than mine.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to include a picture of my face. Mm-hmm. You're going to have some sort of photo of your face and your body for your action figure, or chibi figure, excuse me.
Yeah.
And every reward tier that has something different, there has to be a survey for each specific reward tier, right?
That would make sense.
So logic would lead me to believe that that's how they're going to do it. And if that is indeed how they're going to do it, there was only 44 backers at your tier, and there was 90 at my tier. So assuming they did a few surveys from each tier, even if they did 5 surveys from each tier, you would have like a 1 in 8 shot maybe. And I would have like a 1 in like 19 shot. So I think the higher tiers, you have a higher odds of getting one of these random surveys.
Yeah.
I don't see any other way to iron out the bugs, because the surveys are going to be different across the tiers. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Shenhua has a voice now.
Yeah.
I don't think we talked about that in the previous episode.
I don't think so either.
She's new. Haruka Teruya.
Teruya. I don't know.
Keep going. We get time to fill.
Teruya.
Haruka.
Teruya.
There we go. She is the new female voice actor for Shenhua. We still have Masaya Matsukaze as the male Rio. I don't know why I said male Rio. He's returning as
Shenhua is just a female Rio.
Kinda. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's returning as the male voice. She, on her blog, and you can get to the blog from the Kickstarter page, released a photo of the two of them standing in a recording booth pointing at a television, and it shows their legs. It looks like they're leaving
the characters'
somewhere.
legs, you mean?
Well, their legs are also in the photo.
Yeah.
But yeah. He's wearing some sort of clam digger pants as well. They're pointing at the television. I think Mr. Suzuki-san loves this type of mysterious, here's a little morsel, figure it out yourself type idea. But it looks like they're leaving something. People have thought it might be the cave. It very well could be. But we're here talking about it, so it worked, whatever they're trying to do.
Well, I'm glad they're starting their script work, their voice work. Well, I hope the script's all done, actually. The script should be done by this point, you'd think.
Oh, I would think it would have to be done. And voice recording is something that happens closer to the end, so. And as Corey mentioned, when him and Eric were in the booth recording together, it appears that in the Kickstarter update, they are in the booth together recording as well. Which I think, as Corey mentioned, and I think Eric talked about it as well, just kind of adds to the realism, because you are playing off of one another. And there's kind of another cryptic photo in the background of her as well, where Rio's looking down what appears to be a hallway of some sort, maybe. The TV's kind of blurry back over her shoulder.
Looks like a very weird recording studio they have. It's a very open room. Like there's a corner with a bunch of chairs piled up and stuff.
And they're looking at a television I think both characters are standing by the fence. It looks like, so they're having an actual dialogue, conversation, however you want to put it. Yeah. But that means progress.
Yep.
And Kickstarter update number 81, Deep Silver officially announcing that this is delayed until 2019.
Oh, we didn't talk about that yet?
No.
Oh. I feel like we have. Just we
might have
been saying it forever, probably.
We might have.
We were saying it before it was official.
Yeah. It's delayed. I don't like that they just said 2019. That's a very vague 365-day window. Even if they cut that down to, the quarter 1, quarter 2, first half of the year would have been a bit more reassuring.
Mm-hmm.
Next bit of news, the Slacker backer has surpassed $6.9 million.
Nice. Let's get to that 7 million. Round it out, everyone.
So that's what I want to talk to you about. So now that there's additional funding coming from other companies and stuff, does that $7 million milestone mean anything?
Yes.
Like, are we actually...
Lucky number 7. It's just good luck, people.
Do you think we will get, when we look at the Kickstarter rewards, do you think we'll get that $7 million reward? Or do you think that $7 million reward's going to be in the game now anyways?
Are you talking about the stretch goals?
Yeah, the stretch goals. I'm saying reward, that isn't necessarily the...
Well, we already passed 6.5. Did they announce that was going to get in the game? The 6.5 million?
They've never really announced, and as we're looking at it live right now on June 24th, it hasn't said that it's been reached yet either.
Yeah, even though they have reached it if you include the Slacker backer.
Yeah.
Which 6.5 million is the battle system expanded and ragdoll reaction.
And then 7 million is AI battling. So I'm AI battling, would that be AI against one another? And you bet on the outcome, maybe? Because that would be pretty cool. That would be a great way to earn money.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows what that means? It could be partner AI for you, maybe. Like fight alongside Ren or whatever.
Yeah. Kind of like the Guizhang 70 man.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty neat. These they're even the $7.5 million one, high ground battle system.
I never understood what that is.
What does that mean?
That's just a Star Wars reference waiting to happen.
Or
it's over, Anakin. I have the high ground.
Oh, I don't get that reference.
It's one of the most ridiculous scenes.
Yeah, but I don't know who Anakin is. I haven't watched Star Trek.
Oh my god. Yeah, I thought you saw at least one of them. You saw the first one.
You didn't even pick up that I said Star Trek.
Oh, no, I talked over it.
Ow! Oh, he hit me. He hit me.
Yeah. I'm always beating on you.
So that's it for the Kickstarter updates. One thing that just randomly crossed my mind, the fact that we have 1 and 2 HD coming out now. Does that kill the chance of it becoming backwards compatible on Xbox One, do you think?
I would imagine.
There really wouldn't be a point to it at this point in time.
No, I don't think there would be a point to it. Anybody given the choice, I'm sure, would just gladly pay for the new remaster. Unless it's been bungled somehow that we don't know yet.
Yeah, I just... It was kind of like, that it is probably the final nail in the coffin for it ever happening.
Yeah. Because
why would Microsoft put time and effort into that when they could put time and effort into making Jet Set Radio Future backwards compatible?
Yeah.
Make Jet Set Radio Future backwards compatible, please. Yeah, there's no point in them dumping resources into something that it's going to happen anyways on a disc, a new version, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they wouldn't have to worry about all those weird emulation issues dealing with those either.
Yeah.
One other thing I do want to back up here, talking about the survey. In the photo for the survey, it says, "Can you give me a hand?" And it shows that little girl waving. I think that kind of... I had talked in a previous episode about her being like you in an area that you have to pass daily, or should pass daily, like when you're walking by Megumi.
Yeah.
I think she's going to be the same. Like, I think you're going to have an interaction with her, assuming you can't or choose not to. What was it called when you skip the places?
Fast travel?
Fast travel, yeah. Assuming you choose not to fast travel, I think you're going to have a daily interaction with her.
What would she be doing, you think? She's like, they're already in China, so she's digging a hole to America. You want to help me out a little bit today? you dig a few shovelfuls in the hole, and you come back the next day and dig a few more. That's what she's doing. She's not doing anything like nice, like taking care of a kitten. She's just digging a hole in the ground. What do you think she's doing?
Me? Or are you asking her? Me, I think she'll be either like constructing something, making some sort of craft or project, or I think it could be similar to Megumi where she's taking care of an animal. Maybe like where seems like a more rural area, something less domestic than a cat. Maybe like...
But they already did that, and she looks too much like Megumi. Like they wouldn't do that, like repeat it that much, would they? She looks like Megumi. She's doing the same thing as Megumi.
You ever seen the movie Home Alone 2?
Or any sequel?
Home Alone 2 is virtually Home Alone 1 repeated with just take out shovel guy, put in bird lady.
Yeah.
People can do that in sequels. Like,
yeah, but it's lazy.
It is. Oh no doubt it would be lazy, but I think that's what's going to happen with her. She's going to be this annoying kid that you eventually like grow to like, just like Fang Mei was as well, waking you up in the morning, staring you in the face with those weird looking eyes of hers.
Looking like a cat.
Yeah. Don't tell her that though.
No.
You won't be able to do the birthday thing. Or makes it harder. I don't know.
She'll disinvite you from her birthday.
Ooh. That's the scorn of a child. Gamescom's coming up. August 21st to 25th. Cedric Biscay said that he would not be at E3 and he would see people at Gamescom. So I'm assuming that confirms that he's gonna be at Gamescom with Shenmue.
And he's gonna bring the same trailer again like he did last time.
I think that would be such a good troll if they did, and then just like have like the scratching record sound in the middle, like and then play a new trailer.
Yeah, you would hope they'd do that, but
yeah.
What if it's just literally that same trailer for the third time? We won't think about it till it happens. We'll hope for something new.
What if it does?
That'll just be really sad.
Would you do another drunk guy episode? No, we can't bet on it. We don't want that to happen.
No.
So August 21st to 25th, Gamescom. Hopefully something will be there. And I think it would have to be gameplay. I think it... And again, the previous... I don't want to say the word fuck-ups. That would be rude, but marketing decisions have not necessarily been the best. So hopefully we see an upswing.
Yeah, listen to your fans. Give us what we want.
Yeah, because we paid for it already.
Yeah, all we need is Ryo walking around being controlled in real time. That's all we need.
Yep, I would be over the moon for that.
You don't need to show anything complicated. Just show us that he can walk around and you can control him.
Cool. Something else happened recently. It's just this video game thing called E3. Matt and I got together for PlayStation. It was pretty good. We got together for Sony and Microsoft.
Yeah.
Nothing at either of them Shenmue related. Wash my hands clean of it. And then we get something during PC gaming.
11 seconds.
11 seconds of pure bliss. I was not expecting to see anything from PC gaming, although we did have the conversation, and I was like, well, it's a possibility, but, you know, me winning the lottery is a possibility as well.
So what was it? Was it just was it like a...
part of a montage of Saga stuff coming to Steam.
Yeah.
Which, the stuff that Saga's bringing to Steam, Saga's turning it around a bit, I think.
Yeah?
They're putting Yakuza 0 and Kiwami on Steam, which have been... the whole series has been exclusive to Sony, other than when they did the 1 and 2, not remake, HD remaster, because they've remade and remastered Yakuza 1 and 2 for the same console. Yeah, it's whatever. It's very convoluted, but it's been exclusive to Sony, and they're branching out, putting it on Steam, which I think is good because it'll get that game in more people's hands, and the more money that Sega has overall, there's more money they can do with stuff like Shenmue. Yay. So it was good to see something at PC Gaming Show. Although it was only 11 seconds, it showed clips from Shenmue 1 and 2, mostly Shenmue 1. There was a clip of him walking up the stairs there and one of the quarters. It's where you get the airplane scene.
Yeah.
And he was fighting. What was the other? Oh, he was running by the area where arm wrestling is, going towards a fountain or something.
Did you notice anything about how it looked? Like, I only watched this once, and I don't recall if it looked.
It looked cleaner and brighter.
Did it?
They mentioned their what was the term they used for the on-screen display? Not the HUD.
It's the HUD, isn't it?
I can't remember what they said or called it, but it shows you fighting Chai in the arcade, and you know how you have the little circle with the circles around it for your health bar? That looked different, better, right there. Yeah, we're just gonna watch it here. So it looks cleaner.
Well, I don't know. It kind of looks fuzzy to me.
It's translucent.
It was all in. Was it all in? Yeah, it's all in 16:9. But I don't know if that's like fake 16:9 where they just zoomed in.
I don't think it can be though, because if you go look at the part with Chai again, if it was zoomed in, you wouldn't be able to see the health bar because it would be cut off.
Yeah, that's true. So what? Oh no, the rumor was that the cutscenes wouldn't be 16:9, right? Is there any cutscenes in here?
There are not.
That's kind of a cutscene, isn't it?
Oh yeah, the cutscene of them on that motorcycle. That's cutscene with that fantastic song.
And did it look like it was zoomed? It could have been zoomed. His head was cut off, so. But I don't remember if it was like that originally. I think that may be zoomed in. That looks pretty tight. It's fakery. We're gonna get 4x3 cutscenes. No.
Whatever. We're getting it. Stop complaining.
I know. I don't care that much.
That much. He's just in bed writing Dear Diary. It has 4x3. No.
Kill me now.
So this, on the topic of E3, this is the first E3 in like 17 years where we haven't had the disappointment of not having something Shenmue announced. Because once Shenmue 3 was announced, after 15 years or whatever it was, then everyone was like, well, Shenmue 1 and 2 HD. But that's coming now too.
Yeah.
Like, this E3 felt different to me afterwards because I was like, oh yeah.
No pressure.
Like, Smash Bros. Looked cool. The Last of Us 2 looks great.
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima, is that what it's called? I'm interested in that. Like, none of my attention afterward was like, no.
Where was Shenmue?
Yeah, like, that didn't happen this year because it didn't need to happen this year.
Yeah.
And that felt great. Like, I'm sitting here talking about it with a smile on my face, a little pep in my voice. I love it. How'd you feel?
Yeah. I wasn't conscious of it at the time, but now that you say that, yeah, that is a nice thing to not have that bad aftertaste of a conference not having Shenmue in it.
Matt's got a smile on his face. How'd you feel about Cyberpunk being first person?
I went over this on my other podcast. Not happy.
What's your other podcast? Matt is Wrong?
Matt is Wrong about games.
Yeah, so eventually, though, are we going to be back in that boat? Like, depending on
where's Shenmue 4?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. At the end of Shenmue 3, depending on how it ends, are we going to be like, oh, Shenmue 4, like, when?
Well, I hope, like, this is what I always hoped for Shenmue 3. I hoped they would just be upfront with us and say, hey, no, sorry, it's not coming, it's canceled. Like, we can't do it. We have no plans to do it. Goodbye. Like, they never really said that with Shenmue 3.
No sense of closure.
Yeah. Give us a sense of closure, and that's fine. Then we can live. We can live our lives.
We talked about the Slacker backer. It's up to 76,000 backers now, too, in total, between Slacker backer and KickStarter, which is great.
Cool.
The Slacker backer, you can still pre-order the game on it. But now that Shenmue 1 and 2... Never mind, I was going to say something that didn't make sense. I was going to say that it's going to be on Steam, but it's Shenmue 1 and 2 on Steam. Yeah, that didn't make sense. Well, I suppose it will, because at some point in time, once Shenmue 3 is on Steam, are they going to have to stop the Slacker backer? Or is the Slacker backer, if you go to pre-order, just going to send you to Steam? Because at some point, this needs to stop being a pre-order for putting money towards it, and it'll become putting money towards getting the game, if you know what I mean.
Well, I don't know how... Well, actually...
And not necessarily just Steam either, once it's on I believe, PlayStation Network as well.
I believe the Slacker backer for Bloodstained just closed last month, I think, or a few weeks ago, and that game's not out yet. It's very nearly out, but they do close the Slacker backer at some point.
But yeah, like, I guess what I'm saying is it'll have to close at some point when you're getting close enough that you're actually pre-ordering the game, not pre-funding the game.
Yeah, well then you wouldn't use that website. You'd just get it.
Yeah,
you'd pre-order it off Steam or PSN or whatever.
Yeah. It'll be interesting just to see how that plays out. One other thing that we came across, we did our episode with Eric Kelso, and anytime you're talking with anyone where you're asking them if they're involved in a project or something, and they, in this case, Eric said no. In the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, he could be bluffing. He could be under non-disclosure. But I believed him. But, there was a possibility. I had a podcast listener send me a message where they had sent a message to Deep Silver and asked Deep Silver to bring back Liesl, Eric, Lisa Wilkerson, Eric Kelso, and Paul Lucas. And the person from Deep Silver actually replied to them and said, hey, if you have their information, I can send it to whoever. So the listener knew that we already had Corey, and that I had mentioned we're going to have Paul and Liesl on, and we had already recorded with Eric. And he asked me for their contact information, which obviously this is a stranger. I wasn't going to just hand out their information. But I said, hey, who are you talking with? And then I just put together a Facebook Messenger message and sent it to the three of them. And very quickly I got a response. So I can say with 99.99% certainty that none of the three of them had been contacted yet about it, because they were all very interested in having contact information set up, which I sent along to this person. I sent the guy at Deep Silver a message, I think, and then forwarded his information to them, and that's kind of the last I've heard of it. On the topic of Liesl, she was at the Saga booth at E3, which is pretty cool, I think. I don't know if anything's changed, but Saga I don't think is really too heavily involved in Shenmue 3 at all.
Yeah.
So we'll see where it goes, though. But I now 100% believe that they were not, Eric wasn't kind of just bluffing under a non-disclosure agreement, that I think they genuinely have not been contacted yet.
Which is surprising.
So, tweet it at Deep Silver. Tweet it, Mr. Suzuki-san. We want them back. Yep.
And those Deep Silver guys should have tried harder to get a hold of these people earlier.
Yeah, the series of events, it all occurred over maybe 2 hours, and Paul's in Singapore, and Eric I'm not sure where Liesl is right now, but Eric was in Japan, so this was really late at night where I was. So I was well, is it... I had to think of time zone differences and all that, and when I sent the message, but all three of them were gung-ho, so do it, Deep Silver. Just please do it. Yep. That's all I'm asking for, or we're asking for. That, and just give us a release date and make the game great and everything be awesome, and Shadow drop it tomorrow. All right.
No voice work is done. It's just, here it is.
Just all dubbed. Yeah. They're all subtitled, I meant to say. So that's our episode. We will have our next upcoming episode, barring any crazy Shenmue news. Release something. Let's back up. The release date for Shenmue 1 and 2 HD has not been announced. But Sega has, I think they have a very narrow window, and they said they'd be announcing it sooner rather than later.
When did they say that?
Within the past week or two. It was right around E3. They've been working with Adam Koralik, who's a YouTuber, who's a massive fan of Shenmue and Saga. They had him involved. They've given him a bunch of information, but they have time embargoes on it. From what I understand is they haven't told him when he can say stuff. They will just send him a message type idea, be like, okay, you can let this piece of information out of the bag.
Yeah.
Because he does have a very large following. So, and he's really passionate about it. So, it's kind of neat that they're taking a social media route of doing all of this.
Yeah. Smart in this day and age.
Yeah. So, you can find us at Shenmue AM2 Pod.
Speaking of us, it should have been us, not Adam Koralik.
Yeah, Saga.
Get in contact, Sega.
Yeah, Sega Europe, we know you're following us on the Twitters.
We want that info, that juicy info.
Answer my instant messages, please. Or direct messages. Instant message.
Are you sliding into their DMs? Never mind.
What?
It's internet lingo.
What's the internet? I just said instant messenger instead of direct message or DM or whatever they're calling it.
We know what you mean.
Yeah. I turned 33 in a couple days. I'm old now. So yeah, you can find us at Shenmue AM2 Pod on Twitter, Shenmue AM2 Podcast at gmail.com. We are on Facebook. We have a page and a group. Please like, share, subscribe. YouTube.com/Shenmue AM2 Podcast. We're getting up there in subscribers. We're hoping to hit 300. Hit the notification button, the little bell, so whenever we put up something new.
Smash that bell, as they say on YouTube.
And yeah, and also we may have a very small video coming out. I think it's like 10 seconds long that I recorded on my phone of something, and then I realized if I put a certain music track over it, it'll look and sound hilarious. Right. So stay tuned for that.
You haven't showed me that.
No, I have not. I will the minute we're done recording. So yeah, that's our episode. Thanks for listening, and we would like to thank our sponsor this week, Pigeon Cafe.
Hey, it tastes like chicken. Bye, everyone.